Hey there, friends. It's a beautiful October day here in beautiful, extreme southern Indiana. I am here at the home of two very significant historical figures, both Abraham Lincoln and Santa Claus. I'm here at Lincoln State Park, a park celebrating the boyhood home of the American president Abraham Lincoln, and that is located in Santa Claus, Indiana, the home of Santa Claus, where it's Christmas all year round. But yeah, let's go search this hollowed ground and see if we can find some mushrooms. Come on. So yeah, this is really nice down here. It's a little different environment than I'm used to in south central Indiana. Down here we have some mixed woods. We have some conifers and deciduous trees, some white pines, some red pines, a few oaks, not a beech tree in sight. A lot of sweet gum trees, which I don't have in south central Indiana as well. But yeah, it's really nice. All right. Looks like I got a lot of oyster mushrooms here, quite a few anyway, some older and dried out. These ones are pretty nice. Oh. So yeah, for a second there, I was like, why are these oyster mushrooms growing on a pine tree? But actually this is a black cherry tree. They have similar bark to pine tree. But yeah, that's cool. You don't see that every day. Oyster mushrooms growing on a black cherry. These are a little bit far gone. They're kind of getting a little brown around the edges, a little dull on the underside, a few beetles in there. So I won't be taking these home to eat, but that's a good find. Love a good oyster mushroom. And you can see that these oyster mushrooms leave a white spore print. You can see the dust of the spores that these ones deposited there. But that's my favorite mushroom, a really delicious one. I just caught them just a little bit too late, but that's a good find and a good sign. Let's see if we can find some more mushrooms out here. Let's go. Here's some older pear-shaped puffballs. It's a very common fall mushroom. Very fun. All right, let's keep moving. All right, so here we have some Amanita phalloides, the Deathcap. It's a pretty scary mushroom. Kind of has this slightly yellowish, slightly greenish top. You can see the partial bale has kind of a yellow greenish tinge. We'll have white spores. This is an extremely deadly mushroom containing amatoxins that will shut your organs down. This is the most common reason for mushroom poisonings and death, people eating the Deathcap mushroom. So that's definitely one to get familiar with, definitely one to look out for, the Deathcap. Cool. All right, let's keep going. So yeah, we haven't got much rain lately, but the mixed woods is a good place to find mushrooms even when it's kind of dry. The pine trees, the conifers tend to shade out the forest floor a bit more than the deciduous trees, and the pine needles kind of blanket the earth and keep the moisture in. So hopefully we'll find some mushrooms in the pine needles here. Oh yeah, I see some mushrooms up here. Oh yeah, check them out. Those are cool. There's quite a lot of them too. Oh yeah, there's quite a few of them here. There's a couple nice ones up here. That one has really cool scales. Very pronounced scales on that one. So these guys are carrot-footed Lepidella, also called the carrot-foot Amanita as well. You can see they have these big swollen bases with lots of brownish scales, really defined scales on top. They kind of have little darker spots in the middle. The veil on this one hasn't broken yet, but it's just starting to break on that one. This is not an edible species. Do not eat this. It can be found under white pines a lot, in big groups of lots of mushrooms. There's probably about 10 here in these pines. But yeah, it's a really cool mushroom. It can get pretty big. I saw some of these coming out in suburban Indianapolis under some white pines that looked like they were going to be a bit bigger than these. It hasn't rained that much. These don't seem to be that dependent on the rain. It's been pretty dry here, but they're all popping up here in the fall. These can be found all over the eastern United States and a little bit down in Mexico, but not in the western United States. But a very beautiful, very cool mushroom, the carrot-footed Lepidella. Very nice. All right, let's keep going. Some signs of some beaver activity. Didn't quite topple this one. A little more success with those down here. Wow, look at all the sterium on this one. Lots of algae on that sterium. Oh, you think this has some water in it? Nope, no water. Ah, interesting. So this is why the deer mushroom is not a beginner mushroom. This is not a deer mushroom. This is an Amanita mushroom, likely Amanita brunnescens. A deer mushroom will always be growing on wood, and it will never have a ring on the stem or a shaggy stem. It will have a smooth stem. Its gills will not be white. They will be pinkish and have kind of a pinkish brown spore print. This will have a white spore print, but they look very similar. Similar cap color, that the caps can split like this. They have free gills, but you can tell by looking at the stem that it's a kind of Amanita. You can see that kind of bulb at the base. So yeah, in my opinion, no cap and stem mushroom is a beginner edible. You definitely want to be intimately knowledgeable about your edible mushrooms and all their lookalikes. So yeah, that's a good one to know, that there is a Amanita that looks a lot like a deer mushroom. Keep that in mind. Oh, here's a little Russula. Ah, sickener. Some other Russulas are edible, but don't eat the red ones. They will make you sick. They won't kill you, but they'll make you very sick. That's why this one is called the sickener. These Russula mushrooms are quite pretty. They can be brighter colors after it rains, or they get in the sun, they can fade a bit. But yeah, pretty tight gill pattern. The gills are attached to the stem. Don't really smell like anything. Russulas are known for their very brittle nature, so it should kind of snap like chalk or kind of explode if you smush it. It's a very brittle mushroom. All right, well, yeah, there's another one, the sickener. Let's keep going. All right, here's some mushrooms. So after that one, carrot foot. So here we have some Suillus mushrooms. These are the chicken fat mushroom. Let's check them out. All right, so this is the chicken fat mushroom. It often grows in big groupings underneath pines, particularly white pines. It can have kind of a sticky top, as you see these pine needles are sticking to it. It has very angular pores. The pore surface does not have gills. So yeah, this is Suillus mushroom, the chicken fat mushroom. It's called chicken fat mushroom because of its yellow color, not because it tastes like chicken fat. The edibility of this one is debatable. Some people say it's okay if you peel off the pore layer, that they're edible, but it's not a choice edible. Probably not one you want to try, or even one you want to pick up, because these are known to cause dermatitis in some people, some contact dermatitis from touching these. So I'm going to have to wash my hands after this, and that also makes me not want to put it in my mouth. But apparently when you cook them, it gets rid of whatever chemical is causing the skin irritation. So you can see they're mostly yellow with a little red scaling on the edges, and on the stem here you can see the red scales, kind of red striations on the stem there. But these can grow in really ginormous groupings. I saw a bunch of these in suburban Indianapolis a couple weeks ago, just a huge flourishing of these chicken fat mushrooms. There must have been hundreds of them. They can get quite a bit bigger. It has been kind of dry here. These are a little smaller in the dense woods. But yeah, that's a really cool mushroom. One to look out for, and good one to know about, because most mushrooms are pretty friendly creatures. You can handle them, you can touch them. They're not going to do you any harm. But this is the rare exception that can give you a rash if it does not agree with your skin chemistry. It doesn't do it to everybody, but does to some. So I'm definitely going to wash my hands after this. But yeah, it's a good mushroom to know. The chicken fat mushroom. All right, let's keep going. Well, there he is, old Honest Abe. Splitting rails. Some nice cedar rails here. Huh. It's red cedar rails. Some little fuzzy white hard mushroom on them. Well, Abe's rails are rotting. Some nice tobacco right there. Looking good. Well, there it is, the site of Abraham Lincoln's boyhood home. And here's the official post office where Santa Claus gets all his mail. Well, it was really fun. Found some good mushrooms down here in the land of Lincoln and Santa Claus. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm Michael File, and I'll see you next time on Mushroom Journeys.